I keep noticing how the most influential things in life rarely announce themselves. They don't arrive loudly, they don't demand attention. They just organize everything quietly from the background, like gravity or mood. Or the way a room feels different after someone leaves, even though nothing visible has changed. Sometimes I wonder if order itself behaves like this, not imposed, not enforced, but simply present, shaping what can and cannot happen without ever explaining itself. Most people think of order as rules, or systems, or someone deciding how things should be. But when I really pay attention, order feels more like an agreement reality makes with itself. A soft coherence. The way sound knows where to settle. The way the body heals without being told how. The way thought forms patterns long before we become aware of thinking. I might be wrong, but it feels like order isn't built from the top down. It emerges from something subtler, something that doesn't need recognition. There's something about the idea of a fourth that feels quietly unsettling. Not first, not foundational, not even supplementary, just present. Like a layer most people never look at because they assume the structure is already complete. But what if completeness itself is layered? What if the most stabilizing principles don't sit at the beginning, but hover invisibly around everything else, making sure it doesn't fall apart? When I sit with this text, or maybe just with the feeling it leaves behind, I don't get the sense of grand cosmology or poetic explosion. It feels more administrative, almost structural, like someone checking that reality is still aligned with itself, that rituals aren't drifting into habit, that sound hasn't forgotten why it vibrates, that fire still remembers what it's meant to transform. It's strangely intimate, less mythic, more infrastructural. I notice how the mind works the same way. Most of what keeps us functional isn't the big emotions or dramatic insights. It's the invisible regulation, the unnoticed balancing, the silent background processes that keep perception from collapsing into chaos. Breathing, orientation, memory stitching moments together so we feel like a continuous self. None of this feels sacred when we name it, but without it, nothing else works. There's a temptation to romanticize knowledge, to think wisdom must always arrive as revelation. But some wisdom arrives as maintenance, as calibration, as checking whether the system is still coherent, whether attention still knows where to rest, whether intention still aligns with consequence. This doesn't feel inspiring. It feels necessary, and maybe that's why it's overlooked. Sometimes I think this is where fear hides too, not in dramatic panic, but in misalignment, in small, unnoticed fractures, in rituals done without presence, in words spoken without listening, in systems continuing long after their purpose has been forgotten. And healing, then, wouldn't be an act of force. It would be an act of remembering the underlying order that was never lost, only ignored. What's strange is that this kind of order doesn't feel external. It doesn't feel like something imposed on the universe. It feels internal to awareness itself, as if consciousness has its own geometry, its own rules of balance, and when we violate them through haste, distraction, over-identification, things begin to feel unstable. Not because we're being punished, but because coherence is being stretched beyond what it can hold. I don't feel like this text is asking us to believe anything. It feels more like it's asking us to notice whether our inner structures are still aligned, whether our actions still participate in something larger than habit, whether attention has become fragmented without us realizing it. And maybe that's why it sits where it does. Not at the beginning, not at the climax, but quietly ensuring that the whole journey doesn't unravel. As I sit here, there's a sense that order isn't finished, that it's constantly being negotiated, maintained, renewed, not through control, but through awareness. And maybe what comes next in this journey isn't another structure or system, but something even subtler, something about how order dissolves back into insight, or how insight learns to move without structure at all. I'm not sure, but something is already loosening.